Hi, Capricorns. I'm here with your weekly forecast, and I'm so sorry I was not here last week. A lot going on in my world, so I apologize. I'll try not to let that happen too often, but unfortunately, it did happen, and I missed you. But I'm here this week. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of talking. You need to wet the whistle a little. So let's get started with your weekly forecast, Capricorns. Start you out. We have Queen of Autumn. Um, Capricorns, you're very practical in nature. That's just like your natural state of being very practical, right? Um, and so, but I'm also getting respect. Like respect is a huge thing. And most of the time, Capricorns, you are respectful, but not always, right? And so, um, but you need to really tap into that because I feel like there's something coming up this week that's really going to, I'm going to gut check myself with my pendulum. I feel like there's something that's going to come up this week that's going to like be emotional, and you're going to forget all about that practical, respectful side of yourself, and you're going to react out of that emotion instead. And so I think you're going to need to really pay attention to tapping into that natural, practical, respectful side that is part of your unique personality. And so just be cautious of that this week. Really be thinking things through and thinking about them in a practical, logical manner. And so as a obstacle for you this week, you got the Five of Winter. And for you this week, I think that that's talking about your I believe that's talking about how you're letting your emotions rule you in the moment, right? Um, and part of that is the Five of Winter is really kind of about, what you think you want and what is right for you isn't always in alignment, right? Like you may want something, but it's really not in your best interest. And I think that that's what's leading that emotional response instead of being that practical, logical person that you normally are. You're letting your emotions run because you have it in your head that you want something that is not in alignment with your highest good. And that's where we really have sometimes struggle, right? I think we all have those struggles at times, like, gee, I really want that, but you know what, it may not be in your highest good. So be aware of that this week, Capricorn. And the advice from the universe is to find balance. Okay. So, really try to take your time here. You don't need to rush a decision. You don't need to, you need to find that balance between, this is what I want, but that may not be in alignment with my highest good. But what can I do instead? Like, is there a way that I can kind of get what I want? Do I need to make concessions? And let's face it, Capricorns, you guys are pretty stubborn, pretty set in your ways, and you're pretty hard to shake you off course. Um, but that's exactly what you're being called to do, is find some balance. Really try to learn to let go this week of that need to, I don't care. I want this, and that's just the way it's gonna be, right? Try to relax that a little this week, Capricorns. And it's funny though, because the Healing with Fairies card you got is called Stand Your Ground. And I'm going to lean into this a little bit here for you and see how that plays out. So let's read what that's about, because I think that's going to be my point for you here. The fairies ask you to make decisions based upon your honest feelings. Stick to these decisions and don't let outsiders' influence to cause you to waver. When you're really honest with yourself, you know what your dreams are. Yeah, other people may be pressuring you to betray your true feelings. This card signifies that your original decision is valid and that you mustn't let outside influences sway you. While it's always wise to listen to the counsel of others, don't allow your own needs to be compromised. Don't be afraid to tell others how you feel. You'll probably find that when you speak your truth, new solutions become apparent that allow for win-win situations. As soon as others are aware of your true desires, they will help you find a way to manifest them without compromising their own needs. Everyone will be happier as a result. Even more important, your self confidence will increase as you take care of yourself, and others will respect you for standing your ground. Whew. That's some good stuff, right? And that goes right in alignment with what I was talking about, doesn't it? I mean, think about that. So you really have to ask yourself, is what you really want what you really want, right? And is it in alignment with your highest good, and is there a way to compromise that? And also for the people involved, right? Get honest. Really get honest here. You really have to dig deep here, Capricorns. And I know you're not about feelings and emotions, and that's, you're the earth sign, and the last thing you want to do, you earth signs, is say, hey, this is what I'm feeling, right? I want to admit to feelings, heaven forbid, right? But that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to dig in, and you're going to have to say, you know what? Is what I want really in alignment with my highest good? Am I being honest about what I want? And how can I bring that about? Like, get honest. And then stand up for what is in truth, right? What the truth of the situation is, not what you imagine that it is, or what you thought you wanted. Get honest. Okay. And crown chakra card, sacred serenity. Invite peace into this moment and let it permeate your entire being. Choose serenity, especially in moments of stress. Align with an energy stream of allowance and ease, where you allow everything to be simply as it is right now, without judgment or regret. Peace is your birthright. When you soften into serenity, you also give others permission to do the same. Become the living example of angelic peace that you wish to experience. And stone crystal for that is lepidolite and the herb of St. John's wort. So think about that too, because when you start looking at the way these cards are playing out, you start looking at, maybe not necessarily looking at things that are, from that practical, reliable standpoint that's you, and you start really getting honest about what you want and how you feel about it, and realizing maybe sometimes that some things just aren't worth the effort of fighting for. You know what I mean? Like, we can put up a good fight, but sometimes is it really worth it? And discovering that balance, like looking at it from all angles, not really, passing judgment, not passing, and that comes from that serenity, right? That not passing judgment, not passing our expectations and unrealistic expectations, and standing up for what's the truth, right? I think it's good. And in the middle of all of that, a good intention is the wealth of laughter. I laugh and smile through the days and nights of my life, finding reasons to be happy at every turn. I honor laughter as medicine and appreciate all the opportunities to laugh and smile with those I love, and I welcome moments of pure delight in the cycle ahead. And crazy lace agate is the crystal, and tagetes is the essential oil. And sometimes when we're struggling with what we want, and if it's in alignment, and sometimes then you just have to laugh, like, of course I want something that's not in alignment with my highest good. Dang it. Like, who hasn't felt that in their life, right? We all struggle with that at times, and it can be a real downer. And we are already working with all these heavy energies in the world right now, and with that on top of it, it may seem a little overwhelming. And so I think this is the universe telling you to don't forget to laugh. Don't forget to find humor in this situation. Capricorn, you're very serious people. Don't forget to laugh, Don't be so serious all the time. I think it's an important intention, especially if you're dealing with truth and getting truth and finding balance, and part of that is laughing, you know. And also a healed body is I got for you for an intention. My body is healthy and strong, free of pain, and able to move freely in alignment with my vision for my life. I am well and whole, and my body is free to move and play, enjoying a full range of motion and magic. And the stone for that is bloodstone, and the essential oil is eucalyptus. And I'll tell you why this is an important intention for you. Because when you're stressing, and especially when you're stressing about a situation and you're feeling that stress and that anger and that, oh man, right? How does that play out? It plays out in our bodies. It definitely plays out in our bodies. So when you're trying to get to the truth and you're trying to work through the icky stuff and you're trying to look at what is the truth, what is really in my highest alignment, and you know what, while I'm there, please remove the stress from my body. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know about you, but I know with me, when I don't feel good, I'm a lot more stressed. And I find a lot more things to be stressed about, right? And it's true. So pulling in that intention for your body to feel good and be healthy right now, because it's the last thing you need. Remember, nourish yourself. Decide that today you'll eat only healthy food that loves you. You know better than anyone what is best for you. And that's true, Capricorns. You're not really ones to let other people know what's best for you, right? Like you really don't want to share that information. So use that information to nourish yourself well, whether it's spiritually, physically, mentally, whatever, right? Nourish yourself. Make yourself healthy, physically healthy. Make yourself mentally healthy. And find that serenity by getting in truth, in alignment with truth, and in alignment with what is or is not in your highest good, whether you like that answer or not, right? Okay, Capricorns, I hope you have an amazing rest of your week. I hope you have a very happy 4th of July. Know that I love you, and I'll see you soon.